It's a new year, and we have some new stuff for you.
We're back.
And we've been really busy since we've been gone. There's been a lot of stuff going on. What was that?
Nothing.
Okay. First of all, the writer's strike is still going, unfortunately.
With end in sight, though.
With end in sight.
With end in sight.
I actually heard that myself. Me and some of the Viewpoints crew went down to Burbank last week, and we talked to a few people. It was really an interesting experience to actually firsthand talk to people who are dealing with this. And we heard from several of the people in the guild that things are actually going well from the way they see things. They really made a point of letting us know that they're really doing this for up-and-coming writers. I mean, a lot of people can say that they're just trying to get more money out of the deal. It's all a big business thing. But they really stress the point that it's for people coming into the business to see that there is actually a future in it for them. And so we're really hoping for an end soon, not only for us, but for them.
I could care less for them. I want my darn TV shows back.
Exactly. It's really killing me.
Yeah.
Another big thing in the news recently was the very tragic death of Heath Ledger, which, have you heard any report of that, Tim?
Yeah, I work at a newspaper, so of course I heard about it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And what'd you hear?
He died. It was very tragic.
Well,
Yeah.
the latest news on it, if you didn't know, was it was reported to be an accidental death.
Yes. But I don't know if this sounds horrible or not, but he finished filming Batman. All the stuff's done.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely
So,
something to take into consideration.
That's in the can. We don't have to worry about that.
One of the biggest movies of this year.
Yeah, so
Thankfully, it was done. But
he was done.
He's going to be sorely missed by everyone. I mean, fans, people in the business especially.
Well, it was funny because at work we were talking about it, and everyone's like, oh, he's such a great actor. I'm like, I'm trying to think of my favorite Heath Ledger movie. And I'm like, my favorite Heath Ledger movie? I'm like, well, I saw The Brothers Grimm. And then I'm like, looked up on an Internet Movie Database, and I'm like, I only saw The Brothers Grimm.
Yeah.
Go figure. So.
I mean, for all the critical acclaim he's got, I have to admit myself, I haven't really seen a lot of his movies.
Yeah.
I've wanted to see them for a while, but I've just never gotten around to seeing them. So.
And one of the cooler things that I actually sent Dan last week was Christopher Nolan, who directed the Batman movies, wrote an article for a newspaper about Heath Ledger, and it's really great. I think they should have used it as an obituary. It's the perfect thing. We're actually going to put it on the blog, which is inscapeblog.blogspot.com for you to go to.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So go there. We'll post it. So it'll be on there for everyone to read. And I think it's a great read. It's a great read, and I think it's worth the 2 or 3 minutes to sit there and read.
Definitely.
Even if you're not a fan of Heath Ledger or Batman or anything, one human to another human.
It really
great
is.
story.
It's kind of a gut-wrenching read, but it's definitely a good one.
Yeah, and on the lighter side of things, one big thing that happened while we were gone, of course, is Cloverfield.
Finally.
Cloverfield. And we were all happy.
Been hearing about it for what, a year now? Maybe more?
I think it was 6 months. It started.
6 months?
It started in the summer.
Been hearing
Transformers
rumors about it. Yeah,
was
since
the
Transformers.
Transformers. A lot of hype.
So good or bad? Let's start there.
I gave it like a B, close to a B minus.
Yeah.
But I think after I let it sit in, like my initial reaction was maybe like a C, because I really didn't like it, and then I let it sit in, and I really liked it. So
I was the exact opposite. I was really looking forward to it. I mean, I thought of the only movie I'd seen before that like Cloverfield, and that was The Blair Witch. So I had very low expectations for this movie.
I'm also sick and tired of people comparing it. I mean,
Yeah, it's
end it.
It's the same kind of style, but it's nothing like that at all. There's really no comparison.
It's much better.
But I didn't go in there expecting a whole lot, so from everything I already knew and the things I found out, it was really overall a really good movie. It was intense, it was entertaining, it was really a great thing to watch.
Yeah, and the problem was I had another thing happen to me, but the other thing was I got really sick Friday night. Like I was up all night just puking my guts out. And I woke up all day Saturday. I'm like, oh, just throwing up all over the place. I thought, wouldn't it be hilarious for me in my current condition to go to the movies and throw up in the middle of the theater, and then everyone would go tell their friends, oh my God, this movie's awesome. Some guy was puking all over the place because of the movie. I'm like,
so intense.
Yeah, so I'm like, I would be a personal marketing machine for Cloverfield. But then as soon as I thought, I threw up again. So I'm like, I'm going back to bed.
Yeah, I remember I invited you on Friday and you were too sick. Every single time I called you that weekend, you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go today. I gotta go."
Well, and Chris called me, and I was gonna go with him, but then something else happened, so it was like the worst weekend possible. But one thing you might want to that's kind of weird that I found out, the girl who played Beth, Odette Yustman, is a former student of RCC.
Really?
Yes. She went to RCC. She lives in Moreno Valley. Well, used to until she moved to LA.
I doubt she still lives there.
She was in Walk Hard. She's actually she stars in October Road. So that, and then there's another RCC student right now that's on that stupid Dance War show.
Really?
But RCC students
everywhere now.
RCC students owning entertainment.
You know what that means? We need to get this show rolling.
Yes.
Someone needs to pick up this show. Can we put our numbers up there? No.
Yeah. So one thing I want to do is, Dan and I were having this conversation when Cloverfield first came out, was all the reviews we were seeing were like, we can't tell you what the monster looks like because it's so original.
There were all these pictures, descriptions, and in the end, everything was wrong.
And well, no, but everyone kept saying, I can't describe it. You know, it's nothing you've seen before. So we're going to try something different here. Chris, if you can help us out, give me 10 seconds on the clock. What I'm going to do is Dan and I are going to try to explain. Even if for those, we're not going to give away anything, but for those who want, you maybe haven't seen it, that are wondering, well, we're going to give you a 10-second description of when we are going to mission accomplished.
Let's just shoot back as fast as we can.
So can we get 10 seconds on the clock? Ready, and go.
Crab-like legs.
Yes, and little monsters that look like crab, little alien spiders, face huggers from Aliens.
Human-esque head, sort of, with sharp teeth.
And little puffy little like red things that came out.
There we go. That was the weirdest buzz I've ever heard in my life. But yeah,
can we go back and edit a real buzz in there? Yeah? Okay. Good.
Our cameraman's just eating a burrito. That's nice.
Nice.
But you know what? Actually, if we put a picture together off of what we just said, that's basically what we would have.
Yeah.
That's the monster.
Good. So what else what other movies have we seen since we last been?
I saw 3 kind of interesting movies. One of them being Cloverfield.
Yes.
But there's also catches to both of the other movies.
Okay.
I saw The Orphanage, which Guillermo del Toro made.
Yeah, you called me about that, yeah.
It was really interesting, really good. It was like an M. Night Shyamalan movie without all of the things that people don't like M. Night Shyamalan for. But there was a point in the movie where it ends, and it's really interesting, really gripping, kind of a downer, but really good. Then there's an extra 10 minutes of this fantasy ending.
So is it sort of like Lord of the Rings, the last one, where it ended, and then it started again, and then ended?
Except it only had one extra ending
instead
on
of
it,
25?
and they didn't need it at all.
Okay.
I was about to get up out of the theater. I was like, man, that was so good. What's this? And it was just a really, really cheap ending.
Okay.
So if you want, you'll know when the movie should really end. Just stand up and walk out then, and it'll be a great movie. The other one was the one that I've been ranting and raving about for a long time that I finally saw, There Will Be Blood, with Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano.
And we'll get to that later.
Yeah, but it was absolutely amazing.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that more later.
I saw, well, since we last talked was in December. I saw Walk Hard, and I saw Cloverfield, and I saw Sweeney Todd.
I left both of those out. I saw those.
If we're going back to our 2007 top 2007 lists, Walk Hard might slip into top 5.
Yeah, it's down there, but it's pretty good.
Sweeney Todd, no, not at all. But There Would Be Blood, would that affect your top 5?
It would definitely. I remember putting number 1 as Assassination of Jesse James.
Yes.
That would probably stay there. I put There Will Be Blood as a solid number 2.
What was your number 2 before?
Number 2 before? I can't even remember.
Go back and watch it.
Yeah, go back.
If you look at this video right now, it's going to be like 3 before that.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to see that.
Whatever it was, it's moved down.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, it was definitely a good movie.
Yeah, so there we go.